That was a great start. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm at the studio cutting through kits. Obviously I've done my shift at Qantas and the lasers are running, they're doing their thing, and I've got some time to kill and time to think, and I know it's loud in here, I'm sorry. Kong, cutting some Chinatown kits. Aldo, cutting some Chinatown kits. Caesar, well, I put up a video a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, or whatever it was. Let's go somewhere where it's a bit quieter. I put up a video a couple of weeks ago saying all 3 machines are operational. And it was operational for a little while. And then I put up another video saying, look, you know, it's not working, I'm going to get it fixed. But the quote from Troitech to get it fixed, 20 grand. It's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. So we've only got the 2 machines running. And that, you know, discussion with Troitech about the cost to get Caesar fixed, coupled together with, you know, this is just a stream of consciousness. You'll have to bear with me. I'm very, very tired. But I need to do my couple of hours this morning, otherwise things just stop working. So you'll have to bear with me. That, coupled with the work that's happening in here. You know, I showed the issue with the casting room that wasn't accessible for, you know, 2 or more months. The doorway is now in. I've got 1 more cable to move, and then we can do some patching, put in a door jamb, and I'm just going to leave it open. There'll be no physical door here. I was thinking for a little while I'll put that spare glass door in, but I think I'm going to leave it open. So the cost to repair Caesar and the uncovering of this room, it's loud everywhere. I apologize. There's not much I can do about it. I broke all my microphones. Coupled with, ignore this hole in the wall. Let's just pretend it's not there. All right. Coupled together with this room. I watched Trent's video from Miscast the other day. He's over in Nottingham. He might be back home already, I'm not sure. But he was over at Ramshackle Games. He's been there a few times and speaks quite highly of those people there. And it's so wonderful to see so much passion and enthusiasm and excitement, and being able to work in this cool, fun, creative space. And there was a moment in that video, and if I can be bothered, I'll try and slice it in here, where they were in the casting room at Ramshackle Games. And Curtis there has, obviously, you know, these pressure pots, right? These things down here. And his workbenches and just the layout of that room really got me thinking about what I want to do in this space. Because, you know, I've got some old tables here. I've got like these cheap workbench sort of storage things from Bunnings, and, you know, they've sufficed. And all of this got me thinking about what I want to do here at the studio. And more to the point, how I'm in 2 minds, right? And my wife keeps asking me, what are you doing with the studio? What's the plan? And people ask me, you know, friends, what's the plan, Viv? You know, what are you going to do at the studio? Are you going to keep it? Once I finish cutting all the kits and fulfilled all the orders, and it's taking a long time, and I know, what is the plan? I really don't know, because A, I can't afford to keep the space. But B, I still want to have it. But that then raises the question, if I'm not manufacturing products to ship out, how do I afford this space? Keep the bit of the studio, the warehouse. Obviously, we've leased out the other half side of the building. how can I go about keeping the space? I've got no idea. YouTube doesn't pay a lot of money. This channel's not monetized and I run no ads and stuff on it, and I don't think I ever would want to. And Patreon has always been a little bit strange for me. I put up a video many years ago on Rubbish In, Rubbish Out. Before I bought this building, when I leased it 7 years ago, maybe? I don't want to say 8, maybe 7. It'll be on the Rubbish In, Rubbish Out channel. I think I uploaded a video called Would You Support Me? This was back in the day when Patreon was really just about supporting people. It wasn't kind of like a, subscribe for $15 a month and get this. It was just, hey, this is what I do. Pitch me a $5 for enjoying what I do and help me be able to do what I do. And so I put up a video on Rubbish In, Rubbish Out, saying, would you support me? And it just felt at that stage kind of like begging. And in some ways that really hasn't changed from my perspective. And I think nowadays there is this association with Patreon, certainly in this industry, in our industry, in our hobby, that, you support someone on Patreon and you get something for that support. And that's totally fine and reasonable, and I understand that. I just don't know what I've got to offer. And there's a side of me that doesn't want to get trapped into having to do something every month. Scott and I used to talk about the Kickstarter windmill that we'd see, various companies or people or whatnot get sort of embroiled in, where Kickstarter is very successful and they launch a product, but it doesn't raise enough capital to finance the next product, so they have to use Kickstarter again, and they're just constantly on this Kickstarter windmill where they can't release another product without having to use Kickstarter, and it just becomes the business sort of not methodology, but the why am I doing this? It's too early for this. It's too late for this. It becomes the business. Oh my God, Viv, why can I not think of the word? Not the profile, the structure. You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to sort of get stuck into saying, support me on Patreon, and as an example, you'll get like 2, laser cut, STLs, DWGs or PDFs or whatever, to cut on your lasers at home. I have zero interest in getting into doing anything digital. The market is swamped, it's saturated, and I just, I have to learn a completely new skill. Not interested in doing that and joining the I was going to say the great unwashed masses, but the very other, talented people who are doing that sort of work. I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is more of this. And, sharing, this, not many people have a casting setup, right? For creating spin casting molds and spinning stuff in metal. It's a dying art form, and yes, I understand a lot of people are 3D printing stuff these days, but I've got a bunch of 3D printers. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, and down the back here, or in the front in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4 office size rooms, and 1 kind of 4-car garage sort of amount of space. And I'd love to do all different sorts of things. Obviously, I'd love to continue doing, continue. I should say, get back into, terrain tutorials. Not having to be locked into or feel like I'm locked into, where are we at? 9 minutes. Let's run for 15 minutes. That sounds like a good amount of time for a ramble while we wait for the machines to cut. They're both 30-minute plus files, so we've got time to burn. Not being locked into, Knights of Dice as a brand or as a product. That's better. Not being locked into that allows me to just, get creative again and enjoy the hobby. Old school Viv from the battle bunker. Straight off the table. If anyone remembers straight off the table. That sort of stuff. Let's just sit down, build some terrain and never paint it because, I'm infamous for never painting my terrain. And, get back into, making some actual tutorials for my model kits. There may be some potential for partnerships. So if my products are available at some stage in the future, obviously with hundreds and hundreds of kits, there's a wealth of stuff that I can go through. I want to do some YouTube. I want to do some battle reports. I'd like to have a nice, studio for filming in, whether that's like a podcast-esque show, kind of like the painting phase or what Brad does over at Cast Dice now on his YouTube channel over there. I'll put links in the description. I don't know, I'd like to run some workshops, but it's a conundrum because I don't want to be locked into anything, but at the same time, if I'm going to keep this space that I have, I need to pay for it, right? I keep on saying that I bought this building and that I own this building. That's not entirely true. My super fund owns this building. Obviously, as our company, it has well, not our company doesn't, but we have our own self-managed super fund, my wife and I, and my super fund owns this building. And so I still need to pay market rates for this building according to Australian law, and there's a bunch of, arm's length sort of, regulations. I still need to pay market rates for this building to my super fund. So the neighbours have leased part of the building, that's fine. How do I afford the other part? I've no idea. Anyway, that's the conundrum I'm having at the moment, because to, do this casting room and set it up nicely, there's not much point doing that if I'm not going to keep this space, after I finish cutting kits over the next couple of months or couple of weeks or however long it's going to take. I don't know. I've been here for a few hours. I'll be here for a few more hours. It's late. I'm tired. I thought I'd put the camera on and have a bit of a ramble. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what I should do. Should I just pack up everything, clear out everything else, keep a couple of my 3D printers to put at home? Obviously, I can't really have any laser cutters at home. I can't have any spin casting stuff at home. I really shouldn't be doing this video while I'm in this condition at this time of the morning. But I thought I'd reach out and say, what should I do? What are your suggestions? If you had all the stuff that I've got in the space that I have, and you didn't want to run a commercially orientated, manufacturing business or facility any longer, what would you do? How would you finance it? I'm out. It's way too tired. I shouldn't be doing this video. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. No, I'm not going to do that. Bye. Just go.